have there been any roadblocks or unexpected or surprising challenges around building out the data engineering organization or data engineering teams that you've seen that are interesting and want to call out? Maybe throw out a couple solutions for some folks who might be experiencing those in the moment.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it generally all comes down to people and their different experiences and their different backgrounds. There's certainly technical challenges, whether it's, hey, there's a new company that makes it super easy to get their data out, or you've gone with Redshift or BigQuery or Snowflake or whatever. So I do think the technical problems are interesting. They're solvable, but frankly, I think they're generally somewhat easier than some of the people challenges. So specifically with roadblocks, it, dealing with folks who can have like preconceived ideas of how data teams work in the past, or what they're used to from a self-service experience. Or you get folks, particularly in finance, I think, that are like, hey, just give me a CSV. I just want to put it in Excel and I'm going to play with the numbers. And so a lot of it, this was true of my experience at GitLab. Like a lot of my time was spent, sure, building the systems, and we're writing more, DBT tests, and we're trying to build these systems to be robust and fault tolerant. But a lot of it is talking with folks of like, what challenges are you seeing in your day to day, and what questions do you have? Are we able to answer those questions? And some of it becomes like these mini counseling sessions of what are you trying to do with this chart? And a lot of times, and I do this now with our CEO and other members of the leadership team, of just like, okay, you have this question. Let's draw out a fake chart. Let's see, here's our x-axis, here's our y-axis, here's what we think it's happening. And what are we going to do with this? We generate this dashboard. It's going to take maybe a week to do for whatever reason. What next? I put this in a dashboard. What are you going to do with this? And having that conversation and thinking just kind of one step ahead is a really good exercise, because I think a lot of people they're like, I want to be more data informed, and I want to build up a robust data organization. And that's where they stop. They think, okay, I'm going to get the data and then I'm going to make a decision. And that's not good enough, and that creates a lot of problems for the data team, because there's always going to be more work to do than you can accomplish. And every time you deliver a dashboard, they're going to go, oh, this is great, what if we did this and this? And that's fun, like for data people, and it's you enjoy that, but you kind of want to help them think through these things. And it turns into like this whole product kind of life cycle. That's where this whole like run your data team like a product team kind of thesis came from. And you're having these conversations with essentially your customers. What are you trying to do? What's the problem you're trying to solve? And how can I make generic solutions that work for you and 100 other people in the organization? So again, it's just the roadblock. And I think the biggest thing is, do you have a CEO or an executive team that's on board with this? Do you have people that are eager for data? Do you have enough support, be it financially and also clout within the organization to get things done? Those are going to be that's 80% of probably all the problems. The rest are technical, and those are fun things to work about and think on. But at the end of the day, it comes down to people, I think.
Tell us more about the run your data team like a product team thesis. What other components go into that?
I have to give a huge shout out. So the first data analyst that I hired at GitLab, her name is Emily Sherio. She went on at GitLab to be on the chief of staff team, and now she's at Amplify Partners as kind of their data strategist in residence, and she's an all-around force. But we wrote that blog post together, and we also gave a talk at the first Coalesce conference, which is DBT's user conference. But basically, the idea around that was, one, to strategically for us elevate the status of a data team. I joked at the time of like, look, if we could just get a couple of HBR articles written about data organizations and get some CEOs to read it, like all of data as a profession would be better, because they're like, oh yeah, we absolutely need to do this. So it's a little bit like trying to be thought leadery about it and push the industry forward. Having lived with that, I think we wrote that in 2020. Now working as a product leader at a data organization, I still very much believe in all that. But the idea was that it's not enough just to hire a data engineer and to then say we have a data practice. A data engineer is a specific role, and they're going to be focused on solving specific problems. But it's not fair to ask them to do the work of an analytics engineer and an analyst and a data scientist and a data leader, and all these other things. And so we were talking about, there's specific roles. Like if you have the budget and if you're growing enough, you should think about having somebody who's like essentially a data product manager, who is talking to customers and being the voice of the customer inside the internal team, or saying, and even for technical platform teams, how are you using this data? Is the latency good enough? Are you okay with late arriving facts? Like, understanding those technical problems, having folks who are akin to designers to help them understand, to help their users understand, like, is this a good design? Are you able to understand what this chart is trying to tell you? Like elevating the whole idea of like product as a profession and kind of industry is figuring this stuff out, building tools for their customers. And because the entire company for data teams is the customer, keep having that mindset can be very valuable, and is nice. It's not exactly one to one, but there's a lot of similarities, and it's been useful to pull from.